Hello and welcome to Wingin It. So yeah, we are back again with another live commentated game here, and again this is from the Indian Skimmer Skirmish. So yeah, obviously did a live commentated game just last week against Blitzel Foyable as part of a double feature between the two of our channels. You guys seem to like it, so yeah, thought I'd do another one here again in the same tournament. This time we are up against Ethma. So obviously a very strong opponent. As with Blitzel Foyable last time, this is not going to be an easy one. But yeah, we have 4 more games. This is one of them. Obviously a win would be nice against a very strong opponent in Ethma. So yeah, we're going to be going second, which, you know, obviously makes things a little bit more challenging in this sort of game, and especially... Did I just see what I thought I saw? Okay, I think the trade changed there, which does happen sometimes if you join the game too quickly. But we did have a white stork, but we now have a house finch. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a fair trade. I don't know if I'd rather see Ethma have the house finch or the white stork. But yeah, we're going second here. Obviously, you never really want to see a trade like that going second. And yeah, all these end of round goals kind of feel very base game. Obviously, we've got the one European expansion for the third round, but otherwise, all to do with getting birds in your grasslands and then laying eggs. So that house finch, exactly the kind of bird you want to see. But yeah, following obviously the win in the last game, record currently 6-0, so no complaints. There has been a bit of chat, I think, in the tournament nest, kind of working out how many wins you need to get through. People are saying 6 wins seems to be about enough, so I don't plan on losing the next 4 games, but you know, it's nice to know that even if the worst happens, I should probably still be okay. But we've got a game here. We're not planning on losing this one, so let's see what we've got in the hand. Okay, not anything super amazing. It was only in the last game when I was talking about when you lack that wetlands bird that it can be a real struggle. So yeah, Lincoln Sparrow being the only option is always a bit of a concern. So we might have to go for that and just sort of see how that goes. But do you know what? Actually, for a couple of end around goals, first two in particular, potentially is going to help out there. So yeah, tricky bonus cards as well. Never like to see either of these two as the choice. So when you get both, behavior is just so tricky. The best time to get it is at the start if I'm going to defend it, because you then at least have all game to try and plan around it. This is not the kind of bonus card you want to pick up late in the game when you've already played birds and you've kind of ruined your chance of getting points from that. But yeah, bird feeder, probably quite unanimously, I would say, the worst bonus card in the game. Maybe fighting citizen scientist, but I feel like I at least hit the lower bound for that more often. Bird feeder, at least all the birds here do meet bird feeder, so that might be something to bear in mind. So it might be these two. Have we got a worm in the feeder? No worm in the feeder. Okay, that makes things a lot more tricky, because otherwise I could have played the nuthatch, got a worm, played the sparrow. So yeah, that does make things a bit trickier. Did we at least have 2 seeds? We did have 2 seeds. Okay, so there's potential to get the hawfinch down. Could play the sparrow, discard a extra card being the nuthatch here, and get 2 seeds to play the hawfinch. I can't see. Let's have a look. Oh, he's only kept 1 bird, so he's obviously going to grab that housefinch, but I don't know what else he's going to do. Whether it's just something to tuck with the housefinch, hopefully. Yeah, when you see someone keep 1 bird, that's normally not the sign of a really strong starting hand. So I think I'm going to go for this start. Hawfinch, it's not a bad bird. I think it went in B tier on the tier list. So yeah, shout out if you haven't checked out the EE tier list yet over on Tuck Cash, definitely go check that out. And yeah, sort of hear my opinions, but also Tere's opinions, obviously, on all the expansion birds. But yeah, Hawfinch pretty solid. A little bit annoying with the 2 same food costs, but you know, it gets you extra food pretty reliably, I think. So yeah, it's just a case of whether I'd want to go for that, or because the thing is, the nuthatch power is better, right? You always get the seed, whereas this, you don't always get the seed. I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to play the nuthatch and then chuck the hawfinch and then overpay to get the sparrow down. That could also work, actually. There's only 1 point difference between the two, the nuthatch and the hawfinch, and I do think that nuthatch is better. is better. It's got more egg space as well for the end of round guard. So there we go. We'll go bird feeder. And yeah, I think that feels like the play. Unless, of course, Ethma wants to go and reveal a Franklin's Gull or something when he picks up this house finch. I definitely wouldn't complain about that, but let's have a look. He's definitely taken that house finch. I think there's no question about that. Obviously, house finch a bit of a theme from the last game, so yeah, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, definitely go check that out. But yeah, the house finch was critical to my own engine and my point scoring in that game last time out. So yeah, we'll see. Obviously got it left in the tray last time. Yeah, like I said, don't think it's going to get left in the tray here this time. So yeah, I think it is going to be play the nuthatch, chuck the hawfinch, play the sparrow, probably. Ooh, spotted sandpiper. See, spotted sandpiper is always an interesting one, because would you rather pick it up yourself and play it and obviously use it for free cards, or would you rather just let your opponent play it and give you free cards? Obviously with the hawfinch, not the hawfinch, with the housefinch, I don't want to be giving Ethma free cards, but equally, if they can play the sandpiper and get a bunch of free cards themselves, it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. So, ooh. Do you know what? I am going to pick it up. I'm going to pick it up just because I don't have any sort of wetland birds. It's, yeah, like I said, it's always a struggle when you don't have those wetland birds. So I'd rather have something than nothing, and I can choose. You know, if I want to use the power, if I'm feeling risky, I can do it. If I can get some kind of wetlands going myself, where I don't actually need to rely on the sandpiper power, I can always skip it and prevent Ethma from getting those cards. So yeah, I'll have that option at least. So I think if I left it, they would have taken it, and yeah, that's always such a pain. So I think I can keep just kind of going about my plan. Obviously, again, no worm in the feeder. It's so annoying when the bird feeder's kind of not set up to yeah, to facilitate your round one plan. You know, sometimes you get those games where exactly the right food is there, or I don't know, you have a Baltimore Oreo and oh, there's the cherry, so I can grab it and play it, or I have a wood duck and there's the seed, I can play it. Those kind of games are so smooth, but equally, yeah, when you've got those birds and the right food isn't there, it's such a pain. It's really, yeah, just slows down your tempo, and certainly, you know, these first few turns throughout this first round, you know, these are the critical turns where, you know, you've got to use them wisely. And this is why I'm kind of thinking to myself, okay, do I play the nuthatch or do I play the sparrow and discard? And, you know, sometimes just that one little tweak in your you know, your approach in those first few turns, it can have a big impact on the rest of the game, because, you know, you're one turn behind, so maybe you miss an end of round goal, or maybe you get one fewer card, and, you know, suddenly that would have unlocked getting extra food as well. And, you know, this game is all about compounding effects. So the earlier you can do stuff and kind of unlock stuff, the better. So, okay, they've got the Great Crested Grebe, so that's really interesting, actually, that they forced that down. But again, exactly what I'm just talking about. You know, Great Crested Grebe is such a good wetland bird if there's a fish in the bird feeder, and there's no fish. So yeah, that makes it so much harder, because you just have to pay even more for it. And, you know, we know that was the only bird Ethma kept, so they don't have a forest bird, which I think this could well play into our hands. So yeah, I'm glad I kept us, or I'm glad I picked up the sandpiper. I think they would have played the house finch and then took the grebe to grab the sandpiper. So yeah, I'm okay with that. So might have a bit of competition for these seeds, but actually, do you know what? I think I only need one seed from there. Actually, I don't need any seeds, because whatever I take, I'm going to be using to overpay. I might not even need this Lincoln Sparrow, to be honest. I might not even need it. I might just rush to get this sandpiper down and kind of go from there. But yeah, good forest bird, good wetland birds. Yeah, that's what you look for, definitely in the early game. And certainly Ethma, they're going to be doing some digging. They're going to be using this grebe, so obviously really good wetland birds. Draw a card for each empty slot in your wetlands. So yeah, at the start of the game, you're getting 4 cards and they're keeping the best one. So, you know, you just dig through the deck that bit quicker. if you're looking for a raven or a crow or something, you're probably going to find it a lot quicker than you otherwise would. So yeah, it's a pretty good bird. And obviously, yeah, Ethma clearly willing to overpay a bit to get that down. I can't necessarily blame them for that. But yeah, I do wonder what the approach is going to be. Whether you dare go forest housefinch in this position, just as some kind of wetland bird to get you going, or some kind of forest bird, I should say, to get you going for a bit of food. I have seen it done before. I've seen it done where you're really struggling for food, and you kind of force yourself to put the housefinch up there just to get something. So anyway, he has gone for birds, and that is good for us because we can deny these seeds and just be a little bit annoying. So actually, yeah, I'm gonna ditch the sparrow. I might look to play this hawfinch, you know, a little bit later in the game, but yeah, we'll take those 2 seeds. Obviously, get the cash on the nuthatch, and yeah, if I can block Ethma, I don't know. It depends what he gets, but if I can block the seed, make him overpay potentially again for that housefinch, that could come into our favour for sure. So yeah, I could lay eggs and play the hawfinch and just get myself some extra food going. I'm then potentially resetting that feeder that I've just bricked for Ethma, but I can maybe think about denying some extra seeds when they come up. That might not be a bad idea. It's going to be a lot of seeds, but obviously if I get seeds from the housefinch, the hawfinch, I'm going to keep getting these 2 birds confused if they're both played in this game. If I can keep getting seeds from that hawfinch, then I can keep the seeds on this nuthatch. So yeah, for those not familiar, you get a seed from the supply and cash it, and then you can spend it later if you want. But obviously if you don't, and you leave it cached, you get a point at the end. So yeah, I'd rather leave it cached if at all possible. But you know, it's there if I need to use it at some point. All right, back around to us, and he's still going for cards. So that makes me feel a little bit more relaxed about potentially using this sandpiper as this game goes on. If Ethma's going to have a stockpile of cards, then yeah, no big deal as far as I'm concerned. If I'm kind of adding 1 to that and obviously helping myself a bit more. So yeah, it seems like his strat is just going to be to get loads of cards and then play this housefinch. And again, if you saw the last game, that was a real strength for me, just spending basically the second round drawing cards bunch. Play the housefinch and then I didn't have to draw cards again. I could just cycle through, tuck with the housefinch, get points, draw replacements. And it was definitely very strong. So man, Ethma is just seeing so many cards here. This is a little bit crazy. You know, each time he's looking at he's looking at 4 cards to keep it the best one. So this is Raven digging in its purest form. Never seen anything like this before, but yeah, it could well pay off. Again, I've seen these kind of games where, you know, you might only have like 6 points in the first rounds, but if you find that Raven, you know, you just set yourself up so nicely to go through the rest of the game. So there we go. They found a Carolina wren. That's their forest bird, I suppose, which is something, but at least it's not a food gainer. But yeah, they can now discard some of those extra cards they've got and try and yeah, get some extra food. We are going to take some food ourselves, so we're looking for a worm on this reroll. There we go. Now we are going to reset this bird feeder with a hawfinch, so hopefully, there we go, only 1 seed. Now we have left it in a position where obviously Ethma can discard and they'll take the rodent and reroll and they'll look for that seed. But you know what? I'm actually quite happy with how that went. Obviously got the food I want, can play the sandpiper, and yeah, it's all going to be about what we can draw. I think what I'm probably going to do is play the sandpiper and then not draw, because I'm going first in the next round. I want to set up my drawing for that turn, because yeah, there's more cards to see. I don't really want any of those cards in the tray. I'd rather see what the round 2 tray has to offer before deciding if I want to go for those cards or not. So yeah, definitely I'm going to be quite concerned with what Ethma's got in their hand. Obviously obviously they just looked at loads of cards. They've looked at a couple more there with the Carolina Wren. So yeah, that's going to be a bit of a nuisance. But the good thing is they're not going to be able to get this house finch down this round. So unless they found another cheap grassland bird that potentially eats a rodent and something else, or just one food that they can force down, then we're both going to miss this end of round. So there we go. They've laid eggs. So very interesting. That is very interesting. Maybe they're just biding their time, hoping that I'm going to reset that feeder, but I've got no interest in that. I'd rather get my sandpiper down. I've got a little bit of food, so yeah, if I had the house finch, I'm playing it with that food I've got. But yeah, otherwise I'm just going to be just digging through the deck. I'm just going to be doing an Ethma in that next round. Draw some cards, see what I find. Yeah, do a little bit of raven digging of my own and see what we can get. Yeah, that is... It's reassuring that they laid eggs, because that makes me think probably not raven, and it makes me think probably, I'm going to call it, have they got California Condor? No. Ooh, okay. Well, I wasn't expecting that. So they didn't go raven digging, they went eagle digging, but that's a lot of their cards used up. So that is, yeah, the lesser seen round 1 Eastern Imperial Eagle, but hey, that is a huge play. Like, what is that, 10 points plus 4 for the end of round. Yeah, it puts them in a pretty strong position, even if it's not going to help for any end of round purposes. But we're just going to lay some eggs. We're going to bide a bit of time, and yeah, obviously lose this end of round. But let's have a look at what we can get in the round 2 tray. Okay, nothing absolutely amazing, but do you know what? That Stella's Jay and that Trumpeter Swan, I actually don't mind to see those. Not kind of the grassland birds I was hoping for, but I could definitely play those. And they both hit the bonus cards. They both help the next end of round goal. Obviously got the sandpiper down for 1, so I don't mind those two. Do you know, I don't mind those two. So let's have a look. Okay, Bob White. We're getting all the seed worm. Can't even talk now. Okay, all of the seed birds. There we go. At this point of the game, so this bird feeder, we might be able to max this out. That'd be very interesting. But yeah, definitely. You know, if I can get this. If I can get the Stella's J down, do I force it down? Or I guess overpay using the nuthatch seed. But definitely I feel like yeah, getting this Bob White down and getting a bunch of eggs, that could be a good plan for this round. Certainly feels doable. And then we can look to play the Swan. I did wonder if they might take that Gold Crest. Given all the cards they've got, that's going to be a pretty strong power to use. But yeah, I don't mind this. I don't mind this. We're going to have, as a food gainer for them, we're going to have good forest, we're going to have good egg source, lots of egg spaces, and also a big point bird to play. So what more do you want? What more do you want? Is it worth playing the J? I might go for cards once more, because if I play the J, the advantage of playing the J is then discard. So yeah, let's go for cards. Not the kind of grassland bird you want to see, nor that, but they're good for discarding. I don't mind that. If I'm going to get extra cards, that's a play for the next round potentially, but yeah, I think now it's going to be force the Stella's J, maybe a couple of turns getting food, maybe just one. Then we could play the Bob White and start filling up this forest with eggs. So yeah, obviously that Gold Crest does have a lot of space as well, but it's not really good egg source. You know, laying eggs is not really a great turn with this kind of setup that Ethma's doing. So we'll see. We'll see what they got planned. I suppose they want to get this house finch down right, but this feeder. This is why I don't want to take food. I want to force them to be kind of painfully slow in getting this food, because it's gonna be a struggle for them. I just wonder, could do J food, play Bob White, or I could just play the Goshawk and then use the cached seeds to play the Bob White. I don't mind that either, but I think Stella's J might be worth playing. You know, it's not an often played bird. I did have a really good game. I'll probably put a link to it where the Stellar's Jay came up as like the perfect bird at the perfect time. But yeah, I mean, this is my philosophy in Wingspan. I don't think there's any bad birds in the game. You know, there's only birds that come up in bad situations, and I think every bird in the deck has a situation where it's useful. Like even this European roller that I'm not even sure if I've ever played. There are times where this would be the perfect bird. You know, maybe you've got Rheumatologist and you've also got Prairie Manager, and it gets you points on Behaviorist. Like, there's always situations where those kind of birds are useful. It's just that they come up less often than some of those other situations you'd look for from the other birds. So, Ethma did a reset. They did not get seeds or cherries, which I am very happy about. But they did get a worm, so probably that Gold Crest is going to go down. I think we are going to play the Stellar's Jay. I think that is going to be a good play here. You know, this unlocks, what's that, potentially 6 foods in one turn from a forest activation. And, you know, when I've got these nice big point birds, particularly the Bob White that's going to help me out with some extra eggs as the game goes on. If it saves me turns gaining food and means I can spend more turns laying eggs and getting points, or you just play these big point birds, then I'm all for that. If there's one action I want to do less of, it's gaining foods. I want to be playing birds. I want to be laying eggs. So yeah, I think that's not bad. Obviously, it does help this bonus card on the bird feeder. So, like I said, who knows? Who knows? Maybe we can max it out. I feel like that should be one of the achievements in the game. Max out bird feeder. Definitely one of the least maxed out bonus cards. Well, I don't know. I suppose it depends if you count Behaviorist as, you know, how do you max that out unless you're going to fill the board. But yeah, I think I might have only maxed out bird feeder, you know, once or twice in all the games of Wingspan I've been playing. So I wouldn't mind being able to do that here. But we'll see. We'll see what the deck is going to give us, and of course what the bird feeder can give us in terms of getting some lovely seeds from these forest brown powers. But yeah, I do wonder what Ethma's game plan is here. This bird feeder is not helping them at all, because I would imagine the plan would be to get this house finch down. So has it been Gold Crest? It has. It has been Gold Crest. So I think they're just going to try and reset this feeder a bit. Get some more forest birds down. Obviously, I've got no idea what else they've got. But it's not a bad bird, Gold Crest. I quite like it. I think I like it more than quite a few other people. Again, if you watched the tier list, you might have kind of got that impression as well. But please give me some seeds, but not too many. This bird feeder. This bird feeder doesn't like either of us. Okay, I guess it doesn't really matter what I take, because we're going to be re-rolling for the Hawfinch. So I'll just take a worm. We're going to miss on the J. We'll re-roll. There we go. One seed, and then just more fish, worms, and rodents. But yeah, do you know what? If that makes it harder for Ethma to get the cherries and the seeds he needs for this house finch, I'll take a little bit of pain. I can always overpay. I can always use this nuthatch seed. Yeah, I don't mind that. So, oh, do I play the Bob White and lay eggs twice, just to make sure I win the end of round? I kind of think that might have to be the play, because otherwise I think Ethma's really easy going to win this end of round. I'm kind of tempted to just force the Bob White down and even just discard food. I can get food way easier than I can get eggs right now. So yeah, it's going to use 2 caches on the nuthatch, which is a bit annoying. So that then only becomes 3 points for the Bob White. And then if we legs twice, it's 4 points each time, plus an end of round. I think that might be worth it. But yeah, we are going to want to get this swan down and draw some more cards, because these cards really at the moment, Goshawk's okay, but I need another grass and bird. I think Bob White on its own is not going to be super sustainable, but yeah, if we can win this end of round goal, I think we're going to look pretty good for the next one. And then that last one, I don't know, Ethma's got loads of space, so I think they are going to be pretty good there as well. So interesting, they didn't use the Goldcrest power, so maybe they don't have another forest bird. I was going to say maybe they do have Raven because of the food they picked up, but you wouldn't play Goldcrest. You wouldn't play Goldcrest if you had Raven. I really don't think you would there. So we're going to play this Bob White. We are going to use the Cassius, so that's annoying. I would have liked to have got obviously one more from the J. That did cost a point in the end, but yeah, I think for this nuthatch, I think you want to use the seeds, right? You know, if it helps you get birds down, in this case for the Bob White, if it helps win an end of round goal with some extra eggs from the laying eggs here, you want to get that down early and use the food early. Oh, Franklin's goal. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so that'd be probably two turns laying eggs. Man, this house finch is going to go down so late. So late for Ethba, but yeah, I think they'll lay eggs twice. At which point, unless they skip the goal, which you don't really want to do in this situation, I think it's worth me discarding a food if it forces them to skip the goal. So that is what I'm going to do. At least once. I'll see what they do this turn. But I think they want to try and compete this end around, but maybe I don't know. Maybe you lay eggs and then go for food, play another forest bird. That could be a play. It depends what they draw. This Goshawk would have been really good for them, so I'm kind of glad I did at least deny that. So yeah, there we go. 3 eggs. Ooh, well they did use it. And they revealed a whooping crane, which I would like, but it's not worth losing that end of round over, unfortunately. So they could potentially still get 5 in the forest. We're going to stop them from doing that. Do we want to do fish or worm? I think we can more easily get worms back, so we will lay 3 eggs there and get one more on the Bob White and win the end of round. So yeah, never nice to see a Franklin's goal go down. It does definitely work with this gold crest, but man, they must already have quite a few birds in hand. We know they've got this house finch that still is not going down, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they've got a food generator somewhere. I'd probably be grabbing that sapsucker if I didn't have a food generator. So, well, actually, what did they grab? They must have picked something up from the tray. Yeah, there we go. They are laying eggs again. Okay, very nice. Glad to win that end of round. Okay. Yeah, this is probably where they just start going for food. There we go. That's what they're looking for. But that's what we're looking for as well. Lots of seeds. So hopefully they don't take all of them. But yeah, we can. I think I'm going to chuck the roller, get food, play the swan, and just start drawing cards. I think that has to be the approach here. Just see some cards. With the gull, I don't care about using the sandpiper, so yeah, that's kind of less benefit to them than it is to me. But I just need another grass and birds. If I could find a tucking bird of my own, another point generator. Yeah, to be honest, even that Harry's not a bad shout. Just to get something going. But yeah, what are we on? 35 points. That's not bad. It's not a bad position to be in. We obviously are going to get this one down, which is going to get some bonus card points as well. So yeah, this is okay. This is going a lot better than it could have done from the starting hand when I nearly played that Lincoln Sparrow that I don't think you ever really want to see go down in a game. That's definitely a desperate situation bird. Yeah, okay, so they took a worm. They took a worm and re-rolled. I wonder what they're planning. If they do have something in their hand, they must have some forest bird worth playing, right? Surely at this point they saw loads of cards with the grebe. They've seen some more with the gull. There must be something to play. Get that down. Keep going for food. You know, you got extra eggs. Get some birds down. Get the house finch and the grasslands. Yeah, that is probably what I would be doing. But you know, I don't know. I don't know what Ethel's got. So maybe it's a more of a tricky position than it seems. But yeah, like I said, our situation is pretty straightforward, I think. Get as many seeds as we can. Maybe think about that rodent if we are going to go for the Harrier. Because Harrier Bob White's not bad grasslands. It's 4 points, maybe 5 if the Harrier works, so it's not terrible. It's not terrible. Okay. They have gone for food. So that's quite nice. Oh, of course. What am I talking about? Oh, Waxwing. Wow. Okay. That's a that's a really interesting forest play. That is very interesting. Okay, so now you get food, you tuck and get a cherry. Maybe that's just to get the house finch down, but damn. Yeah, okay. We'll see. That's really interesting. I've never seen that combo done before. But yeah, ooh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Don't get so eager. Yeah, we're going to do this, this, this. I think we cash because if in doubt, I can get the food I need off the nuthatch, so I will do that. There we go. There we go. So that was a good turn. That was a very good turn. I got a couple of points. I can play this swan and draw some cards. And like I said, Harrier, even, I don't know, how much egg laying are they going to do? And is it going to make that Eurasian magpie worth playing? I feel like round 3 is always the tricky crossover point for these teal powers. You know, round 1, definitely worth playing. If you can fit them in and you're not compromising nice brown powers or an end of round, get the teal down because you get benefit. Round 2, still for the most part worthwhile. You've got better food access, so you can more easily get that down without it costing too much. Round 4, usually not worth it because you only get 1 activation. But yeah, round 3, you know, 1 point for a magpie. Yeah, there's not many turns, right? So you get points based on how many turns or how many times your opponent is doing stuff with their turns. And so if they have less turns to do stuff, you are going to get less, you know, cached food in this case from that magpie. So I think at most I'd be looking at maybe 5 or 6 caches on that. So it becomes a 6 or 7 point bird. Is the Harrier going to get 3 or 4 hunts? It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Just to give flexibility, we are going to use the fish there from the swan. So if we do decide to go for that magpie, we can always play it. But there we go. Lower bound on the on the swan. So we like to see that. But yeah, I'd imagine is Ethma. So they didn't use the gold crest that time. They tucked on the waxwing, but they didn't use the gold crest. So maybe they don't have any more forest birds, or maybe they just want to force this house finch and just start laying some eggs. But yeah, they have not been getting the foods that they needed at the right time. Sadly for them, obviously the seeds. There has been a bit of fortune with this house finch. I told you I'm going to keep doing this with this whorefinch. The house finch hasn't even gone down, and I'm still saying the wrong birds. But yeah, it's been resetting the bird feed, and it's only been re-rolling 1 each time. So, you know, if it re-rolls 0, I get no benefit. But if it re-rolls 2, I only get 1, and then obviously my opponent can take the other one, which I don't want. So, yeah, it's been working. It's been working. It's taken inspiration from the Bee Eater last game. Do what you need. Do what I need you to do. And yeah, keep getting the food coming in, and I'll be happy. So, yeah. How were we looking? We were on about 48 points. Ethma, how many are they looking on? 16, 20. Not a whole lot. Low 30s. Low 30s and a bonus card. So it has been tricky. I think the bird feeders really screwed them over. There we go. Okay, they're going for food again. This is insane. So yeah, maybe it is just a case of needing to get house finch food, or need to get food to play another bird with a gold crest. I don't know, but we'll see. It's almost getting to that point where it's too late for house finch, if you ask me. But we will see what they do. Right, what's the perfect bird? Sometimes I like to think about what the perfect bird would be and then summon it from the deck by mentioning its name. So I think the perfect bird, I think the perfect bird would be a raven, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know if it would be. Okay, yeah, I did wonder if they picked up that woodcock earlier. But they now don't have house finch food, and they don't have eggs to use the goldcrest again. So I think a tucking bird. I think even at this stage, I think a barn swallow would be nice. So yeah, I don't think, even if Ethma lays eggs 3 times this round, yeah, I don't think that magpie is going to be worth it. So we'll start with one off the top. Probably would have been nicer earlier, but we will take that Harrier, I think, here. And all players draw 1 from the deck. Ooh. Is it too late for that, Crow? It probably is. Let's be real, it probably is. Yeah, I can't see that working, but I think I play Harrier, I think I lay eggs, and then I might even play this Goshawk if I need to for the end of round, but otherwise, just keep laying eggs. Obviously, we're going last this round, so we go first next round, and again, I want to set myself up to draw cards in that first turn of the last round, if needed. But otherwise, I think Harrier, Goshawk, and then just eggs. Egg spam. I think I'm going to have space for egg spam. So, yeah, if I play this Harrier... So, I've kind of got 10 space. Play the Harrier, gain 2, plus another 1, 13. That would give me 2 plus 2, 4, 17. No, I would be... Oh, what am I doing? Play the other one. Yeah, I would be short on egg space, so... I might have to reconsider that, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, if I do get some better birds in the tray and can draw them, then looking to play those is going to be a good option. But yeah, I think here we just see what the end of round goal situation looks like. Definitely wouldn't mind another grassland bird. I definitely wouldn't mind another wetland bird actually as well for that end of round. So if I can get myself up above 4 egg spaces there, because at the moment Ethma they only got 4 in the grasslands, but even worse, only 2 down in the wetlands. So that's quite a funny board with the 4 turns gaining food in a single round, but. It scored them some points, you know. They got some tucks on the waxwing. They played the woodhawk. That's 9 points. So it's not been terrible. It's not been terrible. But yeah, it does feel like they are definitely a few turns behind where they would have wanted to be. And I think the bird feeder that's played a big part in that. So is it house finch time? It's finally house finch time. They finally got the cherry under sea they needed to do that play. So they have not played another bird. I highly doubt they will. Actually, they need to play 2, so yeah, that ain't happening. But come on, Harrier. Excellent. Thank you very much. Things we love to see. Harrier's getting a hunt is up there, so that's good. And yeah, I'm glad I didn't take that magpie, because that's basically 1 turn laying eggs this round. That would not have been worth it. That would definitely not have been worth it. With all this food, they're going to play more birds in that last round, I think. So, yeah, not so many turns laying eggs, I don't think. But we've got flexibility. We've definitely got flexibility. You know, if I do just want to lay eggs, if I do want to miss out, it's an option. But I think drawing cards, oh, man. Give me something good. Give me a Benelli's Eagle. Like, let's level out the playing field. They got the Eastern Imperial. Give me Benelli, and I'll consider it a fair trade. But yeah, otherwise just a point bomb. You know, I can get loads of food. Like I said before, 6 food in a turn. I could play any bird with that. So, yeah, some kind of nice big egg space bird, maybe like a wild turkey, something like that. Wouldn't mind see that, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Surely Ethma's gonna go for eggs. I'd imagine. Do you start discarding food in this scenario? They have, yeah. I think that's the right play. I was just trying to work that out myself, but yeah, I think they'll want to use the Goldcrest 1 more time, and so that'll give them some more food, but also they will need the eggs for that. So Yeah, what was that? That was 4 eggs. Yeah, okay, so 4 points. 4 points, they lost a food, they gained 2 cards. It's not a bad turn. Not a bad turn. Do we play the Goshawk now? I'm kind of tempted actually because we might get double birds. We might get a double bird that we can use with the Goshawk, so we're just going to keep laying eggs for now at least. Come on. Trying to eat your big brother is not going to help you there. That is not going to help you there, so. What have we got in the tray as we win at the third end of round? Okay. Okay. I mean, that European Goldfinch and that Great Blue Heron. Both pretty good options. Goldfinch. Man, I'd want to rush that down. I'd want to rush that down immediately. So it'd have to be cards, food, Goldfinch, eggs. Eggs, maybe? Is that worth it? Is that worth it? It's a tricky one. If I could have done a Heron double play into something in the wetlands, that would have been real nice, but yeah. I did Goldfinch. I'm potentially getting 2 food or 2 points as well as the food from the forest. If the reroll is generous. That'd be 2 points. 4 points for playing the Goldfinch, and then I'm assuming I would be assuming a tuck every time, so potentially I could potentially get 4 tucks on it. No, 3 tucks. 3 tucks. So it could potentially be a 9, 8 point play minus the egg. 10 points over 3 turns. I'm really not sure if that's worth it. This is so tricky. I think I'm going to take the Heron. The Heron could potentially help out Ethma as well for this last end of round, so let's bear that in mind. I think I can take the Heron and the Goldfinch. Let's do a bit of calculating, right? So Ethma, so what did we say before? They were on like low 30s, but they gained quite a few points there. So we've got 10. Grebe, Gull, and Finch. And the Tuck is another 10, so that's 20. The Forest is 17, so that's 37. Plus 3 eggs is 40. And 49 with the end of round goals. And they've got a bonus card, so we obviously have 6 more points from that end of round goal. So we've got a bit of a lead. We've got a bit of a lead, but I don't want to waste that. Thing is, yeah, what did we say? It was play Goshawk, that gives me 4 egg spaces. I've then only got 9 to work with over 4 turns. I've been missing out on so many eggs. So many eggs that way. I think I have to draw cards. So we'll take these 2. Something good. I'm pulling a face because that's actually not bad. That is actually not bad. I might be able to get the food to do Heron Grey Lag as a double play. How many points would that be? So that's 12 minus 3 eggs. That's still 9. I still probably not better than Goldfinch unless EOR comes into play. Oh man. Birds I would have been happy to see in the final round for $100. I would not have said that for Grey Lag Goose, but yeah, very interesting decision there. But I think we have to go for food regardless on this next turn. And yeah, go from there. Actually, I suppose you could play Goshawk and then go for. Actually, I don't think it matters. Yeah, I don't think it matters because we're going to discard. We're going to discard a card anyway. We don't need the extra card. Goshawk is 5 points, which is better than laying eggs, but I might need to lay eggs for the end of the round. You see my dilemma. I'd rather keep a bit of flexibility there, so. Yeah. Okay. We have got the lead, and Ethma's engine is not mega strong. So unless they've got amazing birds and or some god tier bonus card that I've not even considered the possibility of them having. They laid eggs again. They did, and they didn't discard the food, so... they might have skipped goal there, though. I think they skipped goal. Still, it's only 4 points, so... Okay. We want, for ultimate flexibility, we want these 3. We now want to reroll and hopefully please. Okay. So we have a decision to make. We have a decision to make. I can cash it. And then I'm always going to get 1 from the nuthatch. Yeah, I think that's the play. I don't think I'm going to need... I'm just trying to work out if I could play all of these, but... Yeah, if it maxed out Bird Feeder, if playing these 2 maxed out Bird Feeder, it would be worth doing. It doesn't max out Bird Feeder, so it might actually be. Nah, I haven't got... For end of round, I need to lay eggs more turns than that, so... Heron Greylag is 12 minus 3 eggs for 9. Goldfinch is 5. I'd be relying on extra tucks and or extra food being discarded for eggs. I think cash. I think cash is the play, and then we just hope. 4-finch. Nice. We get 1 there. Because yeah, if we kept from the J, we save the cash on the nuthatch. But if we cash on the nuthatch, we can spend from the J, and then it all works out the same. So that's not bad. Yeah, it might actually be better to force down the goldfinch, lay eggs twice, discard food for the extra egg. But I have no idea what they're going to do. If I can get 3, if I can get 3 tucks, which I think if they lay eggs, they get a tuck. If they get food, they're going to use the waxwing and get a tuck. So I think the only way I'm not getting tucks is if they play wetland birds, which they do need to do for this end of round goal. Maybe they need to do it for a bonus card as well. Yeah, I don't know. It's a gamble, I think, that playing that goldfinch. This is the safe points. This is the gamble. But yeah, if I do... I think either way I have to use 1 seed off the nuthatch. Because if I play goldfinch, I use a seed off the nuthatch to keep the extra food to discarding. If I do heron greylag, I do fish worm, and then this is seed, worm, and cherry, and then nuthatch seed. So either way, they both net out the same there. It's just about whether, yeah, if the goldfinch gets me 2 extra eggs, that's suddenly a 7-point bird. That means it needs 2 tucks to break even with these 2, and 3 tucks to come out ahead. That's quite a big gamble. That is quite a big gamble. It would leave me with 1 extra food as well at the end. So if we're thinking about food tiger breaker, which I do tend to do at this point of the game, could be something to bear in mind. I suppose as well, actually, if I do heron greylag, I could still get away with playing Gozork. Whereas goldfinch is then better to lay eggs and risk on the harrier. Heron greylag, I lose 3 eggs, I could be on 11. Play Gozork, lose 2 eggs, I'm on 9. I then lay 4, I get to 13. That is 4 per habitat. That is 4 per habitat. Okay. Blue-winged warbler. Okay, that was a pretty nice turn for that. So what's that? 6 points for warbler plus attack. Okay. This is key decision time. I think we have to play these 2. I think that is the play. And then play Gozork. Lay eggs. Because that's already now 1 turn. They're not going to use the they're not going to use the waxwing anymore, I don't think. I think they're either going to be laying eggs or playing birds. I'd imagine it's going to be a wetland play. At which point I'd like to have these down for some egg flexibility. So let's manufacture it. No. Much better. Let's manufacture it so that we have... Yeah. Because then I can lay eggs twice, go 4, 4. I think I can get to 6 per habitat. Because I'll be in 11. 11 after this. 4, 4. Yeah. Okay. I do wish these teal powers, I wish they counted for bonus cards as well. Because then I could have maxed out bird feeder if Greylag counted double, but yeah, it is what it is. But 75 points, that's not bad at all. Would like to definitely have it a bit higher, but if we can win the center round, I think we can, because Esper's not got a whole lot of eggs. If they play a bird, they'll only have 4 eggs. They can then get 2 lots of 4 up to 12. Yeah, I don't think they can win the center round. Oh, of course, they did pick up Whipping Crane earlier, so... Oh, man. Late bonus card gamble is always scary. Late bonus card gamble is so scary. What could they have that would be good? I guess Omnivore goes without saying. But even that's only 4 points. Ethologist, I guess Zoologist, maybe if they lay eggs twice they max that out. Food Web, maybe they have got Food Web actually if they picked up Goldcrest. Fishery Manager. There's not loads of like, I don't know, Diet Specialist they miss. Bird Bander. I think even that they might miss that, so there's not loads of like, oh, they get 6 points, 8 points for this, so that's reassuring. So yeah, maybe I should have taken off the Harrier. Yeah, I think that was a mistake. I should have taken off the grass so that, because now when I lay eggs, well, actually no, what am I talking about? Yeah, no, we're good, because I can do 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's fine. Nice, good, thank you. Yeah, because now if I play the Goshawk, that costs me the eggs for the end of round, so we'll see. I think Ethma is just going to lay eggs twice here. And that would have been 2 Goldfinch tucks, but yeah, we're fine with what we did. See if we lay eggs once more, if we get a Harrier tuck, and then win the end of rounds, that puts us on 92, which... It's all going to be on the bonus cards. It's all going to be on the bonus cards. They do have a lot of bird cards down, and a lot of bird points that come from that. Laid eggs. Okay, so they didn't discard. So the good thing is they didn't discard that rodent, which means they don't have Benelli. Because I think if you have Benelli, you discard that, you turn that into cards, which, yeah. Okay. Oh, but did they use the girl there? So they can lay 4 eggs. They can lay at most 4 eggs. Unless... No. They can lay 4 eggs, they can get to 11. Which is only 3 per habitat. I think I'm better off playing this Goshawk here. Because that's guaranteed 5 points. That's guaranteed 5 points. Whereas if I lay eggs, I'm risking on the Harrier. And if I do play the Goshawk, I'm still going to get 4 sets of eggs. And Ethma can't... Oh, maybe they do. If they use the gull, maybe they do have Benelli. But they can't... The important thing is they can't match me for end of round. They can't match me for end of round, so... Yeah. We're going to play the Goshawk. We just need to make sure we take eggs off the right... No. We need to make sure we take eggs off the right spaces. I just really want to make sure I don't mess this up. Yeah, they can only get to 11s, which is only, at most, 3, 4, 4. So they can only get 3 sets. If we stay on 4 sets, we're fine. So I'll take 1 off the Bobwhite, and I'll take 1 off the Sandpiper. Yep. And we've finished with no cards and no foods, which I think is always a sign that you've done something right in this game. Because you've not been You've not been super inefficient with the turns, but oh man. If they play Benelli, if they do have Benelli, that might be a win. That might be a win. I hate this where you can't see what they've done on their last turn. It doesn't let you see it. It just forces you into the end of round or the end of game screen. So okay, good. No Benelli. No Benelli. that's such a relief. I can't tell you how relieving that is. Okay, we win that end of round. Good. And we go into the scores. I think I might have won this, but I don't know because it's all going to be on their bonus cards. So we'll see what juicy bonus cards they've got. We're slightly ahead on bird points. Only 8 points bonus cards, so that's a relief. That is a relief. So I think with the end of round goals, we do have more eggs. I think food on cards, I've got more. Tux is going to be close. We do have it. It is a very close game, I would say, when you're within 5 points, but a win is a win. 92 to 87. So let's have a look. They did pull Omnivore and they had Bird Canter. So do you know what? Those are 2 pretty good bonus cards. Those are 2 pretty good bonus cards, but yeah, not enough for the OP Bird Feeder. Not enough to be OP Bird Feeder and OP Grey Lag Goose. But yeah, that was a good game. Hopefully you enjoyed watching that, and definitely a case of Bird Feeder screwing over Ethma. You know, when it's a game like this, 5 points in it. 5 points is like 1 turn's worth of tempo, I think. So if they could have got that House Finch down sooner, if they could have got maybe the Gull or the Waxwing down that little bit sooner, that could have brought them back into it. But yeah, that's Wingspan. You know, you gotta work with the bird cards you're given. We were not given particularly great bird cards, and we worked with those. And sometimes the bird feed is not going to give you particularly great food, and you just got to work with that. But yeah, there we go. Thank you for watching that one. And yeah, if you aren't subscribed, please do consider subscribing to the channel. You can stay up to date, of course, with more gameplay. I'll try to get some more live commentary from this tournament in particular. And yeah, hopefully I will see you again in one of those future gameplay videos.